Thanks for joining to part 2 of Math Fun series. In this video, we'll talk about different types of geometric shapes and how we can derive different types of formula like area and also perimeters from those shapes. Let's get started. New base case. So if we want to start with any geometric shape, we will decide one base block. And let's assume it's like a square. It has one on each side. And the unit can be anything, but we'll assume this will be 1 feet. And in this case, the whole area of this square would be 1 square feet. So just write 1 SQ. So based on these one, we can derive the other formulas. Let's talk about first rectangles, where we have length and breadth. So this is a rectangle where the length is represented by L and the width is represented by W. So if you want to find out area of this whole rectangle, how we can do that? So what we can do, we can divide this whole rectangle into smaller pieces with 1 feet each. And as you can see, there are these 1 square will be 1 square feet. And from this picture, what you can see, there will be total L number of size here and W number of size here. So the total number of rectangles is L multiplied by W. So the rectangle area is L multiplied by W. Basically length multiplied by width. So now if we want to find out the perimeter, we need to know what perimeter means. So perimeter means if you want to start walking down this path of this whole rectangle, start from one position and basically walking all way the side, 4 sides, and come back to the starting place. So that's called perimeter. And if we go through like this, we know there will be L in this side, then W is this side, L on this side, and W on this side. The total number of perimeter or the size of the total perimeter will be 2L plus 2W, which is basically 2 into L plus W. That's the perimeter of a rectangle. What will happen if your L and W are same? Then it becomes a square. It will look like this. And in this case, for both, the side would be A, presented by A, because both the sides are same. And if we put L and W both A, we can get the area of this square as A multiplied by A, which is A square. And for the perimeter, you will get 2 into A plus A, which is 2A, basically 4. So that's the formula for getting the area and perimeter of a square. So let's talk about what about triangle. Triangle is a different types of geometric shape which has 3 sides. Tri means 3, so we have 3 sides, and the regular shape something like this. So we want to find the area. So let's start with the base case, and we'll talk about different types of triangle. So at first start with something like a right angle triangle, and where the height is h and the base is b. So we want to find out the area of this triangle. So what we can do to find out this total area of this triangle, let's fill this triangle with something like a rectangle. And if we clearly draw this whole thing, which will be a rectangle, and that area would be basically what we learned before here. It will be b multiplied by h. So if you want to find out the triangle area, then it will be half of that side. So basically the formula is half into b into h. So that's how you get a triangle area. And for this case, there's another popular mathematical formula, Pythagorean theorem, you can use to find out this other side of this triangle. And from the Pythagorean theorem, what you can write that actually, if you are thinking about this side is L, you can basically write L square equal to B square plus H square. It basically give you the height of H square equal L square minus B square, which means H would be something like root over L square minus B square. Why it's important? Because now we can use this formula to find out some other special type of triangle areas. So one of the special type of triangles is isosceles triangle, where you have these 2 sides are equal, and we'll it as A, and this side is different, so we'll call it as a B. So for this triangle, if you want to find out this area, we need this height, which is basically h. And if you think about this h, this side will become b by 2. And in that case, if you want to find out the height using the same formula, using Pythagorean theorem, you will get h equal L square. L is on the side, so a square minus b by 2 square and root over, which basically gives you, if you do calculation, it will give you 4a square minus b square root over. You have 2 here. If you use this formula to get the total area of this isosceles triangle, then your area will become something like half into base, which is b, and this height would be 4a square minus b square by 2. And if you combine everything, it will become b by 4a square minus b square. So that's the area of a isosceles triangle. What will happen actually if you have a triangle with all the sides are equal? In that case, all the side will become A. It's called equilateral triangle. In that case, the area will turn into something like, you can just replace b with an a. So this will be a by 4, and this will be 4a square minus a square. It will become a by 4 here, and this will be 3a square. And if you take a root over, it will be a root 3 and then 1a. So the area will become a root 3 by 4 a square. So these are the different types of area you will get for 3 different types of triangle, and we'll just change it to different color to remember. So this is one of them for equilateral triangle. This is one of them. This is for isosceles triangle, and this is for regular triangle. There are square area, which is this one, and the area of a rectangle will be L multiplied by W. And for the perimeter, we will color it with this guy. So this is the perimeter for this one, and also perimeter for that. So what will happen for the perimeter of these other triangle? So basically for these one, you will get the perimeter of, you basically walk down all the sides. So you start from this one and walk down the whole way. So it will have 3a. For these one, the isosceles, you will have them as like a plus b. So 2a plus b. That's how you can get all the perimeter and also the area of geometric shapes like rectangle, square, and different types of triangle. Thanks for watching. We will see the different types of geometric shape in the next part. Let's take a look at a few of the circular shape. So the circle, which is defined as like this, which has a center, and center is this dot. How you can draw a circle, you basically put a point inside, and then you draw using same radius, which is called R radius, and you get a circle. So if you have a string, you put one side of the string in the center, and if you walk down the other side of the string and walk through the whole circular way, you get a circle. So to figure out few of the perimeters and also square areas of this circular shape, we need to know one basic definitions, that's called pi. And what does that pi means? Pi means basically ratio of a circle, the ratio between perimeter and the diameter. That's called pi. And basically the value of this pi is 3.1415, some values. So we'll just we'll call it P, and this diameter we'll call it D. So for this circle, if our radius is R, then diameter means 2R. We can get 2R, basically go through from this R to other side. This whole part will become 2R. So diameter is basically 2R. So in that case, your perimeter becomes something like pi equal P by 2R. And you get the formula for the perimeter equal to pi. So that's the formula for circle perimeter. Now let's take a look at this circle, and can we figure out the area of this circle? So how you basically do it, if you have a circle and perimeter means 2R, which means basically if you walk down the whole road or whole side, this is your perimeter, right? And we figure out this perimeter is 2 pi r. Now what we want to do to find out the area, we basically want to split this circle into smaller pieces. And for at least illustrative purpose, I'm showing only 4 pieces, but basically you will put at least 16 pieces. And when you do it, then you will get this side, one side like this, take the other side like this black color, and we'll use different color to show the other two sides. But in real life, you need to cut down this whole circle into 16 pieces at least. So now take this one piece and put it to something like here. So this is your first piece. Now take this second piece and put it the other way around. So you basically get like this. And what about the third piece? For the third piece, you do the same thing, becomes to here. And what about the fourth piece? Fourth piece, you basically. So this is your 2, this is your 4, and this is your 3. If you consider 1, 2, 3, this is the 1, this is the 2, this is the 3, and this is 2 and 4. But in real life, you basically make it 16 pieces. So when you do that, you basically come up with something like pretty interesting, that is like a rectangle, this side and this side. And if you make it 16 pieces, it will become something like a rectangle, almost same rectangle. And the interesting part is that about this side and this side. At first, what about this side? So this side is the side what you bring it over from 1 and 3, and this means this side, this part and this part, which is the half of 2 pi r. So basically this will become pi r. And what about the other side? This side will be a radius, because this is the radius, and you'll get the r. And if it's a rectangle, we know the formula of the rectangle is pi r square, because basically you multiply it by the length and the width, so you get the pi r square. So the area of the circle is pi r square. And if you can remember these two, then we can use this formula to derive some other formula together. The area will move it to the green color. Let's use this circle formula to derive other two formulas for cylinder. Cylinder is a special type of geometric shape where you have two circles in the both the end, and we will call the height as an h, and both the circle radius we will call it as r. So let's at first find the perimeter. And as for perimeter, as we know, if you walk down the whole side, outer side of this cylinder, then you will find the perimeter. So for that case, so this will be the both the side, 2 of the height. And when you are one side, you basically go through inside the circle, something like this, and which basically a diameter. And this diameter is 2 into r, and both the height is h. So in that case, when you try to calculate this whole perimeter, it will be 2 into, you go through one side is h, the height, plus 2r. Basically, you get 4r plus 2h is the perimeter. When you try to find the area, it will become a little bit of interesting. So how we can calculate the area of a cylinder, right? So what we need to do, so we have this one side, right? The other side here. Let's see if we can use this side to make, when you take this one of the circular side and make it straight, it will be something like this. And the perimeter of this one basically would be 2 pi r of the circle. So what you can do, you can think about, if you have a paper, you fold it as a cylinder, and when you open those two sides up, something like this way and this way, left and right side, this whole perimeter of the circle becomes one of the sides, and the other side is still become the height, so which is basically h. And if you want to find out the area of this part, which would be 2 into pi r, this is one side and the other side is h, so 2 pi r h. So that's the area of the inner side inside the cylinder. And what about the other two circle, right? So there is a one circle here and there is another circle here. Circle has another area too, and we know the circle area is pi r square. This is 1 pi r square, this is another pi r square. And if you want to find out the total area, it would be 2 pi r h, basically this part, and the circle of 2 pi r square. And you get the formula of 2 pi r h plus. So let's recap what we learned. So we learned two things. So one is for the shape. For different shape, we learned the area and also perimeter. So for the case of circle, the perimeter is 2 pi r and the area is pi r square. This is for circle. And what about for cylinder? Which is something like this. And for the cylinder, perimeter is 4r plus 2h. And for the area is 2 pi r. The perimeter for this one and the perimeter for this one. And area is this guy, also this guy. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.